It started with a letter, a simple, smug envelope tucked into my mailbox. Notification of construction, it said. I didn't think much of it at first. Maybe someone nearby was building a shed or expanding a garage. But I was wrong. Dead wrong. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of bulldozers. Big yellow machines chewing through the tree line on the far edge of my 80-acre property. I rushed out in disbelief. Men in hard hats were marking land, pouring concrete, laying out foundation frames like they owned the place. 35 homes. 35 identical little boxes. I shouted, demanded answers. The foreman looked at me like I was trespassing. HOA development, he said casually. It's already approved. Approved? On my land? I stormed back to my house, digging through every deed, every map, every document I had. I owned this land, had owned it since my father passed it down to me. It was mine, fair and square. No one had the right. I went to the county office. They shrugged. Some paperwork came through last year, they said. Looks like the HOA claimed a land swap with a neighboring tract. Boundary confusion, maybe, but it's signed and filed. That's when it hit me. My neighbor, Rick, had sold part of his land, but the HOA had accidentally mapped their development onto mine. And by the time I noticed, construction was almost done. Lawyers told me fighting it would take years. Courts, surveys, hearings, and appeals. But I didn't have years. I had something else. See, what the HOA didn't know was that decades ago, my grandfather built a dam on the back edge of the property. A strong one, reinforced. It held back a deep, narrow reservoir surrounded by thick woods. It wasn't visible from aerial maps. It was forgotten by almost everyone, except me. And here's the kicker. The homes they built sat directly below that ridge, on what used to be dry floodplain, until the dam kept it dry. I gave them one warning, sent a letter, a certified notice that they had 72 hours to halt construction or face consequences. They ignored it, called it empty landowner bluffing, said I was just a bitter old man. So on the fourth day, just before dawn, I hiked up the ridge, alone. I brought the old keys, opened the steel hatch, and turned the valve. The sound was low at first, a hissing rush, like wind through trees. Then a groan, a deep cracking boom as pressure released and water began to surge. Within minutes, a roaring cascade thundered through the valley. I stood there watching it pour. By noon, the first few homes were flooded. By nightfall, 35 houses sat underwater. Ruined foundations, collapsed drywall, drowned dreams. The HOA tried to sue me, but the deed backed me. The dam was on my land. The release? An act of nature as far as insurance was concerned. A floodplain event, they called it. They lost everything. I didn't do it out of spite. I did it because some lines shouldn't be crossed. My land, my legacy, my